Okay, I'm going to talk about orgref, a new package for org mode that handles citations, references, and some BibTeX utilities in org mode. You can get this at my GitHub site. The URL for the org file is up here. This comes as an org file, and you load it with org-babel load file, which tangles out the orgref-l code. You also need dash, which you can get here. It provides some list utilities. You should set some default variables in your init file, so pick a default bibliography for reftech and also for orgref down here. And you should specify a directory where you store your PDFs. If you have them stored by BibTeX key, then you'll be able to open them conveniently. And if you have notes for them, you could put them into this file here. Okay, so the features here are basically functional links for citations, references, and bibliographies, ability to export bibliographies in different formats, and some utility functions that I'll show you. So let's get started with the bibliography link. Here's an example of one. It points to a specific file. If you click on it, it will open your BibTeX file, and you can browse through it. You can also set a bibliography style, and these actually export into LaTeX as the code shown here. The bib gets stripped off, and so you should put these links where you want them, which is typically going to be at the end of your document. Bibliotech is also supported. You can use an add bib resource link. This also is clickable, so if you click on it, it will open that file as well. Okay, the typical citations look like this. If you click on them, it will give you a quick overview of the title and the authors and the journal, and you can see a menu down here. If I press O, it will actually open the bib file directly at that entry. If you also look at it, you can see if you have the PDF, it'll tell you, and you can open it. And then you can browse it and do whatever you do with your PDFs. If you don't like, you insert these with control right bracket. So for example, you press Control C right bracket, put in some kind of key that you're going to search, and this is a reftech buffer, and you can select what you want and press enter. And then if you click on this, you'll see the thing you have here, and you can see here I don't have a PDF. But there is a URL that you might be able to use. If you don't like Control C bracket because it conflicts with an org key binding, you can set this variable to change it. You can also insert other types. So if we use the reftech citation command, which you may want to bind to a key, you get a menu, and we can say pick auto cite, and then again we can pick something, and we get an auto cite link, and that too is clickable, and you can see open PDF URL. Let's just click on notes. This will open my notes file, and this is the thing that we looked at, and I don't have any notes for this one. Okay, so you can change the default. If you use auto cite all the time and you want something else, you can do that. You can use completion. So if you use this, you can select one. Let's say I start typing in something. It automatically recognizes a key that I have, and I can press enter twice and get to it. And you can do other types as well. Let's see, cite p star. Okay, so you can insert all kinds of different kinds of links. These export into the corresponding LaTeX or bibliotech commands. Okay, you can also have multiple citations. Let's delete this. We use this. You can select by pressing M in the reftech buffer. You can highlight a few and press enter, and they automatically enter. If you want to add more to this, it will append automatically at the end. You can click on each one of these individually and get information about the individual links within that. This too exports as comma-separated list like this in LaTeX. Okay, you can use shift arrow keys. If you don't like the order of these, you press shift and right. You can move links around, back and forth. And if you want to conveniently sort them by year, we use the orgref sort citation link, and that puts them in order from earliest to most recent by year. Now suppose we had accidentally deleted this. If you tried to compile this, BibTeX would complain that it couldn't find it, and so we provide this function to find bad links. So this is not in my BibTeX file, and it tells me here, if I click on this, it takes me right there. If I put the R back and look at it again, you see that it disappears and there are no more bad links. Now it could be that you want to send your document to someone and you've used your default bibliography. Here you can export or extract your BibTeX entries. So let's say here I have these three cited. If I click on this command or run it, then it creates a new entry here that has a tangleable text block that has exactly those references that we cited in this particular document. Okay, it's handy to have labels. We label figures, we label tables, we label sections, and we have a label link here. If you click on it, it tells you how many times that label occurs in your document. You want these to be unique, so if we delete this one and click on it again, you see there are two occurrences because table names can be a source of labels in org mode. We can label a figure the same way, and you can use the org mode label as well. Now the point of using the labels is that you can make references to them. Right? So if we want to make a reference to the table here, this is clickable. If I click on it, it takes me to the place where it was labeled. So you can add figures, and these will get exported pretty conveniently as the /ref commands in LaTeX. There's also an equation ref. So let's see, here's an equation environment with a label right here. If you click on the equation ref, it takes you to the label. And all this does in LaTeX is surround the label number by parentheses. We have a couple of obscure ref links. For example, you may be using unnumbered sections, and then it doesn't make sense to make a reference to the section number. Instead, you might use the name ref. And for this to work on a section, you have to put the label here in the heading. You can also get the page number with a page ref link. So these are both clickable and take you to the label. You can always use the regular org link here that takes you to a section with a custom ID by that label. All right. After you've created lots of figures and lots of lists, you may want to have a list of tables in here. If you click on this, it gives you a browsable buffer that shows you the two tables we have. And if we can click on this, it takes us straight to the table that we were interested in. All right, we also have a list of figures that does the same thing and gives you a browsable buffer to get where you want. Now it's important to note here that if you're exporting this to LaTeX, that these export as the list of tables and list of figures. So usually you'll put these on a single line at the top where you want them. Okay, finally we get to utilities. There are several. You should look at the orgref.org file to see what all of them are. But my favorite is orgref clean BibTeX entry. Typically when you download BibTeX entries from the internet, they have non-standard keys, non-standard field order. They sometimes have non-ASCII characters. They have ampersands that are unescaped. They have all kinds of issues like empty pages or bad DOI numbers, and they're usually not indented. Let's take a look at a typical example here. So this is a BibTeX entry I downloaded from ACS. You can see this was an ASAP article, so the year is set to 0. It has this URL here, which is unnecessary and undesirable for other things that we do. And it has this very ugly key and a unescaped ampersand. So we run org ref clean BibTeX entry, and this will prompt me for a year since it noticed 0. Put in 2014, and then it does the rest. It puts in my standard key format here. It indents everything nicely. It escaped this. It got rid of the dx.doi and so forth, and it normalized these so they're all lowercase and in the order that I like them. Okay, that brings me to the end of the demonstration of orgref. Again, you can get it at this GitHub site, and I hope that it helps you write scientific documents with bibliographies and references, etc. Thanks.